Here's your Forbes Daily Briefing for Wednesday, February 28th. Today on Forbes, lawmakers demand Elon Musk provide SpaceX internet to U.S. military in Taiwan. A group of U.S. lawmakers are calling on Elon Musk to make SpaceX's Starshield military-specific satellite communications network available to American defense forces in Taiwan after years of refusing to do business in the country. In a letter to Musk obtained by Forbes, Representative Mike Gallagher, Republican of Wisconsin, reminded the billionaire of SpaceX's contractual obligation to provide the U.S. Department of Defense with, quote, global access to its satellite internet services. He noted that the Pentagon is committing, quote, tens of millions of dollars over the next year to Starshield, which uses low Earth orbit satellites to provide communications and observational imagery to the military. In the letter, dated February 24th, Gallagher, who is chair of the Select Committee on the Chinese Communist Party, wrote, quote, I understand that SpaceX is possibly withholding broadband internet services in and around Taiwan, possibly in breach of SpaceX's contractual obligations with the U.S. government. A robust communication network for U.S. military personnel on and around Taiwan is paramount for safeguarding U.S. interests in the Indo-Pacific region. Gallagher added that, in the event of Chinese aggression against Taiwan, quote, American service members in the Western Pacific would be put at severe risk. The letter asks that Musk provide the Select Committee with a briefing about Starshield availability in and around Taiwan by March 8th, which is at the end of next week. For Musk, the request is certain to discomfit. He has close ties with China, where Tesla has a major manufacturing plant, and has very publicly waded into the tensions the country has with self-governed Taiwan, which it views as part of its territory. In 2022, Musk suggested that tensions between Taipei and Beijing could be resolved as some control of Taiwan was handed over to China. The letter also highlights the uncomfortable reliance the U.S. government and military have developed on SpaceX's satellites. The Texas-based company has launched more than 5,000 satellites since 2019, and is the top vendor of satellite communications in the world. It is often the only way to get internet access in remote areas, places destroyed by natural disasters, and war zones. The service has been crucial to Ukrainian forces battling a Russian invasion now in its third year. But here too, things are fraught. Ukraine military intelligence officials recently claimed Russian forces in the country are also using Starlink satellite internet terminals, undercutting a major battlefield advantage. Musk has denied selling Starlink service to Russia. Representative Gallagher was in Taiwan this past week with a delegation of Congress members meeting with officials, including President Tsai Ing-wen, and has discussed the country's need for a system like Starshield, which could back up its communications were China to cut the undersea cables that connect it to the rest of the world. Gallagher wrote in the letter that, quote, multiple sources had disclosed to his committee that Starshield is currently inactive in and around Taiwan. After Forbes published an exclusive about Gallagher's letter on Saturday, SpaceX said in a statement that it is in full compliance with all of its U.S. government contracts. In addition, the company said it had notified the Select Committee last week that it is misinformed, quote, but the committee chose to contact media before seeking additional information. When Taiwan first started discussions with SpaceX about Starlink in 2019, officials had hoped to secure communications that weren't reliant on its undersea cables. But talks quickly fell apart over a requirement that the government own a majority share of any telecommunications companies doing business in the country. Musk was adamant that he retain full ownership of Starlink operations in Taiwan and demanded the requirement be waived or changed. Talks have remained stalled ever since, and Taiwan has begun developing a satellite system of its own. The issue took on a new urgency last February when Taiwan's National Communications Commission blamed Chinese ships for cutting 2 undersea internet cables. For full coverage, check out David Jean's piece on Forbes.com. This is Kieran Meadows from Forbes. Thanks for tuning in.